Welcome back everyone to our Pokemon Battle Dome mini-series, and in today's episode, like the title says, we finally get our Battle Dome gold symbol. Hopefully everyone is having an amazing day whenever you're watching. So to start things off, I haven't really done much progress this past week because it is finals week and soon I have to get ready to move out of my dorm, but the progress I did make was kind of substantial. So the first round or the first tournament of this Battle Dome run, it was tournament number 6 and we didn't really have many problems. I did mention in the last video that I would make some team changes, and those changes being swapping out Calm Mind for Thunder Punch on Alakazam and giving Alakazam the Lumberry. And another change was making my Walrein more centered around being a tank and an attacker instead of just a stall tank. I did get rid of Sheer Cold for Surf, and as you'll see further on in the video, I do make one more change to Walrein, but I'm happy with these changes because now that my team is more geared towards the playstyle of the Battle Dome, it has done much better compared to the last video. Although I'm still going strong, really no difficulties at all, but these changes did give me more options to hit more Pokemon harder. So Alakazam, perfect. It hits hard and it's pretty fast, and if it do get status, I just have to pop the Lumberry and I can cure the status. For Salamence, it's a standard choice band set, Jolly Natured 2, Naive Natured, and it just does what it has to do. It goes in, intimidates, and if I need to swap out, I have the perfect switch in for Walrein. Now Walrein is also perfect. It's the perfect switch in from Salamence, and it can tank almost any hit. It's pretty hard to take out, especially with the Chesto Resto strat. It can tank any ice beams and icy winds that Salamence would probably die to upon switching, so I usually tend to pair these two in the Battle Dome. And another good switch I do like to do is pivot from Alakazam into Salamence, because there's a lot of Earthquake users in the Battle Dome, and Salamence is immune to Earthquake, and since it is a hard-hitting move, my Alakazam would usually die from it, so that's just a nice switch-in that I usually like to pair them with too. But yeah, this first tournament really was no trouble at all. Everyone is pretty much well-oiled to the point where they just go in and take care of business. But the other change I did make to my Walrein was switching out Toxic for Hidden Power. Now, since Toxic is a stall move, and stall really isn't, I wouldn't recommend that strategy for the Battle Dome since it's so fast-paced, I decided to give it Hidden Power. I was curious as to what hidden power my Walrein had, and when I did do the calculations to figure it out, turns out it's hidden power grass with power of 67. That's pretty funny. But yeah, hidden power grass is amazing on Walrein simply for the fact that that gives me another option to hit water types pretty hard, but more specifically water and ground types like Swampert, Quagsire, and Wishcast. And that's very useful because the Battle Frontier ace for this facility, Tucker, he has a Swampert on both of his teams. So having that option to hit Swampert for ×4 effectiveness with a power 67 hidden power is just an amazing option to have. And it deals more damage than Poison Stall would with the same amount of turns. So thankfully, Walrein did end up having a pretty good and powerful hidden power type. It also is a nice way to hit other stuff like Starmie, Lapras, just anything that can take super effective damage from grass that Walrein would have trouble touching. But with all these changes, my team really didn't run into many issues, with the exception of like a couple of misses from Icy Wind or running into trainers with Explosion. And there was a particular battle in tournament number 8, which would be tournament number 3 for this video. It was the semifinals. There was a trainer that had Skarmory, Metagross, and Regirock. Regirock and Metagross both have Explosion, and that was pretty scary to deal with, considering none of my team members have Protect or Substitute. But luckily, when it really came down to it, we were down to our 2 last Pokemon. I think it was this battle right here. No, it was a different battle, but it was my Walrein and the Metagross. Metagross used Explosion, and it knocked both of us out. The battle ended in a tie, but because the trainer that used Explosion technically died first, they were counted as losing the match instead of me. So that was a pretty close call. That could have ended my streak and I would have had to start all over in the Battle Dome, but thankfully it played out the way that it did, and it's honestly one of my favorite battles that I've done so far in the Battle Dome, which is coincidentally this one that you're watching right now. Regirock easily taken care of, and I did try to stall out this Metagross, but it just hit like a truck, and there was just no way to take it out pretty fast, so I just had to hope for the best. And I was surprised when it did click Explosion, because I wasn't expecting it on Metagross, although I know it does carry it. But just the way this battle played out was so funny to me. I could have easily lost here, but thankfully we pulled through by the grace of God, the grace of Arceus, and we continued our streak. Now here, tournament number 9, for this video, tournament number 4. We, with our new changes to our team and the lucky Explosion battle, we continue on, and really no troubles at all. The team is doing amazing, and I'm really looking forward to trying out the doubles format later on in the future. Probably will swap out some Pokemon or make new teams with existing Pokemon that I have trained up, but the Battle Dome is just such a nice, casual, friendly facility that I wouldn't mind just making more videos on the Battle Dome just for fun, when I don't want to stress over the Battle Tower streak, because these two facilities are so different when you compare them. Just the difficulty level is day and night. But this is like a nice way to just have fun with Pokemon you build and not have to worry about super high streaks. But my future plans for the Battle Frontier as of right now, I am working on team number 4 for a new facility. I will probably post a video about it tomorrow, and I do want to start mix and matching Pokemon from my trained up roster to make new teams to take on different types of facilities. Stuff like the Battle Factory, I don't have to make a team for because you just rent Pokemon there. But I do plan on covering the Battle Factory soon, preferably on live stream, since all the Battle Factory content I have seen is live streamed and it's just so fun interacting with everyone. But those are my future plans as of now, just to train up more team members, theory craft new teams for other facility challenges, and just obtain more medals, because while I do enjoy taking it slow, I do want to see some more progress being done on my Pokemon Emerald save file. One of my goals, besides beating the Frontier, is also completing the Pokedex and obtaining the different trainer cards. So I just want to really just start checking stuff off my list, because it has been a while since I've made progress on that. But thankfully, With this video, we finally have an extra symbol to our Frontier progress. But as you'll see in this final tournament, tournament number 10, we do face Tucker and his team. It's different from the first time we faced him. I'd say it's much more difficult if you're not prepared, simply because he has a Metagross and a Latias. He does have a Swampert again, but it's a different Swampert build. But thankfully, with our new and improved Walrein, we can easily take care of any Swamperts with Hidden Power Grass. But yeah, and also I did want to mention that I will start uploading more Nuzlocke content next week once things finally start to slow down for me. I have been grinding levels in that game just on my free time. I have some stuff recorded, but just not enough for an episode yet. So do look forward to more Nuzlocke content soon. And speaking of other content, I also just ordered a GameCube a couple of days ago with a memory card and controller. So that should be on the way pretty soon, so I could finally get to play my early birthday gift from a couple weeks ago. I also have to figure out how to record from my GameCube so I could upload that footage onto my channel. If you guys have any suggestions or recommendations on how to do that, I'd really appreciate it, because I would like to put out some Coliseum content in a couple of months. But besides that, there's nothing much I've been doing besides studying for finals. Here in the Battle Dome, right after this battle, we faced Tucker. Now this battle, it was a challenge. Most of it came down to just picking the right team members, which I did try to think of every possible lead he could lead with, and that's what I based my picks on. I'm so glad I picked Walrein to start off, because Tucker decided to start off with a pretty good lead himself, that being Swampert. Swampert taking 4 times damage from my Hidden Power Grass. It really did help out, because even if I did take a lot of damage, I could have just recovered with rest. But thankfully his Mirror Coat missed and I didn't take any damage, so I was just fresh to knock out, or at least do a substantial damage to his second Pokemon. But yeah, Swampert was just a 2-hit kill, and now Metagross comes out. This is where I was starting to get a little worried, because I know Metagross has Explosion, but I didn't think he'd carry it, because he'd probably just lose instantly if he did use it. And I expected Meteor Mash to kill me, honestly. I'm so glad he didn't get the attack boost. But with Salamence, I'm immune to Earthquake, so you really can't hit me for much damage at all. And with Walrein Surf damage, it was just a 1-hit kill with Salamence. So it all played out perfectly fine. And with this battle, we finally have our second gold symbol of my Frontier journey. And with that, I have nothing else to share with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you.